Hi there everybody, and welcome to another video. Here at Daring Beefcake today I have this BMW, this is a 218D, so series 2, and I'm gonna be changing the battery in this car. Now, I made a video on one of these changing the battery a while ago, and I practically had to remove, well, the way I did it was removing all this here, including the wiper arms, in order to get the battery out this way. Now there was quite a few suggestions on that video that the battery can come out, can slide this way, so you would have to remove this and the air filter housing here. So since I have the car and I need to change the battery, this is another car, by the way, so it's not the same one. We're gonna go and do the suggested way, which sounds to me that it would be a lot easier. So we'll give it a try. So I'm gonna start by removing these coverings here, and not sure at the moment whether this airbox just pops up. If it's mounted, I can see there's a bolt there, and not sure if there will be bolts inside of the filter itself. So we can remove this cover here and then the filter, and then see if there's any bolts holding the housing here. So let's get started. Okay, 10mm nut and then 10mm nut and then 10mm bolt here and then. Car is hot, it was just running. Now also just removed this rubber, this little mount here that is pressed onto the housing there, so you can just pull it out. I already had it halfway out, and I also disconnected this here. So you will need an OBD computer, by the way, to register the new battery. So disconnecting this won't be an issue, because I'm gonna, if this creates a fault code, we can delete it with the computer. So you pull the little gray plastic back, press that, and you can take that out. I've also undone this clamp, just a flathead screwdriver. Okay, with all of that loosened, we can try to remove this here, and it looks like this complete thing is also loose. So that was basically one bolt holding it just here, and it looks like it was supposed to be mounted there. This mount seems to be completely melted and gone. Which is why it was dancing a little bit. So it looks like these little mounts here really need to be replaced. But the car's been running. This area here is so hot. But anyway, that was easy enough, I guess. I can take this out. We can take this out. And then we have a 13mm bolt just there. there is an 8mm bolt sitting just here. Okay, and there is another 8mm just there. That there is a positive terminal, by the way, so just be aware of that. Don't want to touch any sort of negative sides here. So for that purpose, we can disconnect the positive side of the battery. I meant to say we can disconnect the negative side of the battery, which is just back here, 10mm. Okay, that is out of the way, and we can disconnect this as well. And now we shouldn't really have any issues with this positive here. So, this positive terminal is held in by a 13mm at the back here, which we could remove if need be. So in a minute, what I want to do is I want to remove this part here first. Right, 13mm bolt here. I mean, I'm trying to remember this as I go along. I've changed one of these a long time ago now. Okay, so hopefully that can come out. And now we have another 13mm here. Technically, we have another 10mm here. Obviously, that's the positive terminal. And effectively, you can slide the battery out and just have to lift it out towards me. Be careful with your back. This is a heavy battery. And in case you want to see, this is the original battery. (800 amp, 80 amp per hour, 12 volt. This would be the part numbers here. It's an AGM battery, obviously start stop car. So that's the original one if you want to get an original battery. And the one I'm fitting is slightly well, it's a different make, but it's also an 80 amp AGM battery. Okay, got my new battery here. Just gonna slide it in there. There was just a bit of a corroded bolt there, so I just sprayed a little bit of WD-40 on the bolt and the threads of those bolts that go in there. Okay, so what can I say? This is embarrassing. This is taking me so far like 15 minutes or so on my first video. It took me a long time because I removed everything here up there in order to remove the battery. So I feel like an idiot, and if anybody feels like saying it, then go ahead. I won't get upset. So it was clearly a lot easier to replace the battery this way round. So what can I say? You live and learn, and I've learned that the last time the way I changed the battery was a little bit dramatic. So anyway, what's left for me to do, it's to now secure this clamp, secure that clamp in the center there, put the bolt and the two nuts here, and then that's it. It didn't take that long at all. That's the old battery there, and then I'm gonna plug in the computer, and we're going to tell the ECU that we've replaced the battery. So it's necessary to do that because with this new technology, like intelligent alternators and whatnot, I think what happens is the alternator charges according to the age of the battery. So if the battery is 10 years old, it may need to apply slightly more charge, and if you put a brand new battery in there and you haven't told the computer that you've changed it, it's going to carry on charging at a higher amperage or whatever, and then it can actually damage the new battery. So I think that's one of the reasons why we need to do that. So anyway, I'll finish these bits, and if you've disconnected that, don't forget to connect it as well. Oops, like that. So I'll plug in the computer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to read all the fault codes, because a lot of these fault codes could have been just created by the lack of the battery being connected. But then again, some of these oxygen sensor, catalytic converter, these are slightly different. Engine oil level too high. Have to delete this anyway before I register the. So terminal 30F reset or deactivated. Invalid transmitter DS. This can be caused by battery. Terminal 30. So have to delete all of these, and then in time, once we deleted these and it's all clear and register the new battery, then we can obviously drive the car and check what fault codes come back, so we can focus on those. Sometimes there are fault codes on these cars. This car it's quite low mileage car. It's got 50,000 miles. The problem is that it doesn't get driven much on the motorways and that kind of thing. So that kind of fault code, like oxygen sensor, can often be related to not driving the car enough, because obviously this is a diesel car and can be a pain in the neck if you don't drive it a lot. Maintenance. Now I have to find a setting where the battery replacement is, so I'll just have a look for that. Okay, so if you have a similar system to this, if you go to special functions and then body, and at the bottom here or somewhere will be register battery exchange. This machine is a Launch Pro, and it's about a couple of years old now. But some Autel and other machines are very similar in the way they work. So anyway, display distance reading at the last battery, register battery exchange. So the battery I exchanged is the same capacity, 80 amps per hour. So I'm gonna press 1 here. Is the newly installed battery an original BMW part? No. Then computer's gonna do its thing to register the new battery. The following was entered: the last battery exchange, 81,400 kilometers. Last but one battery exchange, 0 kilometers. In some engine control modules, it is possible that after the registration, the last battery exchange and the last but one battery exchange are set to 0, or can be displayed correctly only after going to the history of the last battery exchange. Right. Functions and automatic start functions, intelligent generators can be registered up to a fully valid charge state. The next step, the date and time of the vehicle will be set. Continue. So have the date, have the time. If the set date and time are correct and the values are, if the values are impossible, then the date and time of vehicle may need to be set manually. So another thing is, when I got into the car asked me to set the time and date, so I did at the settings here. So if you go to settings and you go to time and date, then you can set the correct time and date there. Service function finished. So that is done. Now I can exit this and we are pretty much done. So, well, having said that, I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I already feel foolish enough that I didn't change the battery on the previous BMW I had the way I did here. So thanks to the comments where people said you can do it easier than the way I did it on the previous one, is the way we all help each other, basically. So I've got loads of videos out there regarding cars and stuff, all different types of cars. So I work on so many different types of cars that I'm not always gonna know the exact procedure, but I try to obviously do the logical stuff and then upload a video to help others. But it's not always going to be perfect. So always comments and suggestions are are good for all of us to share. So anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, as I said, and we'll see you on the next video. So thank you for watching.